So, excuse me. This event, we shall call it, happened, well, about a month ago. The only reason why I haven't, I guess, told anybody about it now is because it was just so incredibly weird and I wanted to give it some time to resolve before I go ahead and I jump down into the rabbit hole and find out that it was all just a hoax or something. I really wish it was just a hoax. So, for privacy reasons, I will not be disclosing my name. You can call me Jimmy. It's close enough that it will pass. And my girlfriend, uh, shall we just call her Jen with two N's. Now, it's really important that you understand all of this, and I am being truthfully honest, all of this happened. So, I used to be a sign spinner, and when I say sign spinner, I would actually announce myself as a sign dancer. Why? Well, for the last year, I guess you could say, I've been a street performer, dancing to hip hop music or techno or dubstep, whatever I could get my hands on. And I would do cool moves like the robot and the wave. I even tried to do the moonwalk and succeeded some of the times. People really liked it. So that's how I made my money until I got a job being a sign spinner. Well, I used my talents of street performing with, holding the sign and eventually just putting down the sign and dancing right next to the sign, and my boss loved it. Everybody loved it. I can't tell you how many times a day I would get honks and waves and people either taking pictures of me on their phone or even taking videos of me on their phone, and I actually got tipped a few times. It was pretty sweet. But all that changed about a month and a half ago when I got a girlfriend and I was actually offered another job uh, working at a restaurant as a dishwasher. I won't disclose what restaurant because they have honestly it's unneeded information and you don't want to hear it anyway. This isn't a blog about my personal life. This is about the events that unfolded on that faithful day about a month and a half ago. So when the weather gets bad, I really can't street perform at my job, my old job, but you get the picture. Because the wind would blow, I have to hold on to the sign with both hands. Lucky for me, if things got too boring, I had music, or as things turned out, I could just put my phone on speakerphone and talk with my girl. It's really nice. I mean, we talked about random stuff and like TV shows and celebrity stuff, and of course, our own kind of bits of trivia, where we grew up, what's our favorite color, did we have any imaginary friends as kids, run the mill stuff. So one day, as we're talking on the phone, I start hearing the dial tone going. No, that's not quite right. Not the dial tone. That noise that you hear when you're pressing buttons. I was hearing it all throughout the conversation. Only I didn't say anything. I mean, we were an hour into the conversation, and when I actually really noticed it was going, we had been, talking for about 15 minutes. So after about 15 minutes of this random number pressing, I kind of lose it, and I unfortunately snapped at my girl, and I told her, stop it. Well, of course, she asked me, stop what? And I told her, you're pressing numbers while I'm trying to talk. Specifically, whenever you're pressing them right now. Stop doing that. She told me that she wasn't doing anything. She started laughing at me. I mean, it was, if you think about it, it's the best practical joke, because you could claim all day, no, I'm not pressing any numbers, and you could stop for a few minutes and then press them again, but she swore up and down that she was not pressing them, and I thought that she was just pulling my leg. I kept telling her, no, seriously, you're doing it right now, stop it. And then she got serious, and she said, hey, whoa, back up, buddy. Jimmy, I'm not pressing any buttons. Jen, look, I'm sorry, I just hear somebody pressing buttons, and if it's not you, and if it's not me, Jimmy, you're being funny. No, I'm being serious, Jen. Seriously, somebody is pressing numbers. By this time, there were a set of 4 tones that kept repeating itself over and over and over and over again. And it kept speeding up. Like, whoever was trying to text, tap, do this, some kind of message to us, was getting either very frustrated or getting panicked and doing it over and over and over and over again. And it just got so bad, I told her, look, I have to go. This is really freaking me out. And it started freaking her out, and I just hung up. I texted her right after I hung up, and I apologized, and I told her maybe our phone's just acting weird. And she said, I honestly couldn't hear anything. Well, while I was still on the phone, I mimicked the tones that I was hearing. I won't do it here because that's personal information, but you'll understand why it freaked us out so much. She looked up those tones because I was getting off of work. She texted me. I could kick myself right now. I don't have the original texts, but I'll tell you it to the best of my memory. Jimmy, I looked up the 4 numbers that kept texting, and I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because I don't want to freak you out, because I'm already freaking out myself. It is, if this is a joke, it better stop now. Alright? Can you tell me what the numbers are? Will you promise not to freak out, Jimmy? Yes, Jen. I promise. I will not freak out at all. I mean, I'm already freaked out enough as is. I don't want to freak out more. I mean, I want to know. I have to know. She texted me the numbers. I knew before I looked at my own number pad what I was going to find. As I said, my girl has 2 letters in her name that repeats itself. Now, since I'm using the pseudonym of Jen, the last 2 numbers repeated itself, but it was her name. It was her name. I let it go after that. Well, about a week later, I talked to her on the phone again, and well, actually, before I was starting to dial her number, I pressed a few wrong numbers. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't even really paying much attention. I mean, I have her on speed dial. Why would I try to type out her number? Then I remembered the other random tones that I heard before we even noticed it. Well, before I noticed it. I don't know how, but I remembered every one of those stupid tones. And my fingers flew across the keys as I kept on hitting the different tones and then memorizing the ones that in sync. I asked her on the phone if she had a friend close to her or a family member that had actually died within the last year. She was quiet and she asked me why. She was almost hostile about it, like it was something she didn't want to talk about. And I just asked her again, just be straight with me. Tell me if you've had a relative or a really good friend that has died within the last year. She was quiet for a moment. And then she told me that one of her cousins was like a very best friend to her. Had died of cancer within the last year. And it was very painful to watch, and they were close. She then asked me why I needed to know. And I asked her if she promised that she wouldn't freak out. She gave her word, but I can tell that she was already shaken. And since I've already said this much, I have to tell her the rest. From the best of my memory, this is what the message was. Jen? Jen? Where are you? Where are you? Jen? I'm scared. It's dark here. It's cold. Jen, I'm scared. Where are you? Jen, come find me. Jen. Jen? 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 Come find me, Jen! I miss you. As I said before, this has been driving me insane. This is why I have not said anything about it till now. It's so crazy. It doesn't feel real. Since then, neither of us have had any kind of weird experiences. I'm not going to tell you that she had a dream that she saw her cousin. No, it was just that one-time event. But it just felt so weird. I kind of wish that our places were switched and that she got those tones, that she got that message herself. But as it stands, I was just the messenger.